That goes way back to the 6th grade. It wasn't anything in particular that we did in class, but I do remember getting a history textbook and flipping through it on one of the first days of school, and I saw a picture that I realized years later was actually of Elie Wiesel and some other prisoners who, basically on the day that they were liberated from Buchenwald, and they were very thin and sickly, and I had no background at all on the Holocaust. I hadn't even heard of it, and I saw that picture and I wondered, how could this happen? So that was really the start of it. Academically, though, I first started really becoming interested when I started teaching it. I've been teaching here for 9 years. Yep, 9 years. And I started teaching Elie Wiesel's Night, and I realized that I need to know more about the history in order to teach it well. So that's really how I started getting interested. It's over many years, over a huge portion of the world. Just the fact that there is always more to know and more to understand, that's part of what interests me. But another big thing that interests me is that studying the Holocaust can tell you a lot about human beings, just generally, who we are, how we relate to one another, when and how we choose good over evil, because the study of the Holocaust is not just the study of everything terrible that happened, and there is plenty, of course, terrible that happened, but it's also the study of when people made the decision to be kind, when people made the decision to do good, to save others. That's really what I'm deeply interested in, is those little moments when people made the good decision. So at the high school level, you're still, you're old enough that you can handle some of the more mature content, learning about the worst crimes against humanity. But you're also at that stage where you're still growing and you're still reaching for that moral compass and you're still figuring out who you are. So learning about the Holocaust in high school is really the perfect time to start to explore that. It can be hard because for many students it's one of their first times grappling with this event, certainly the details of the event. Many of my students have some vague background knowledge about gas chambers, but not much beyond that. And so I watch as students encounter the sheer breadth of the Holocaust. Everything from the Einsatzgruppen in the East to resistance efforts in France and in Belgium. And it can be difficult for students to take all of that in. And as a teacher, I have to remember that. And I have to remember to always think about, okay, this is some dark stuff that we're learning, but what is the positive that we can take from it? What can we actually learn from it to improve ourselves, both individually and to hopefully improve the community around us? The Holocaust is not just a story of Jews. It's not just a story of the other victim groups, like the Roma, like Jehovah's Witnesses. It's a story of all of us. It's a story of humanity. So even though there's this really wide variety of how much kids do or do not know when they come into my class, all of them have something to learn and all of them have something to offer.